What was the? I kept reading references to the shadow in the movie.
Oh, you mean The Shape?
The
The
shape.
Shape.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The shape.
That's just what that I believe was his original name. Yeah,
yes.
at least in the screenplay, they only refer to him as the
As the
Shape.
Shape.
Yeah.
Mike Myers isn't a person, right?
Well,
It's
it's
feel like he's
it's
like-
it's convoluted.
Well,
But-
it depends on what you ascribe to, too. I mean, he is a person,
In
a
some,
fictional character.
In some of the sequels, like especially the bad ones, you know, they kind of delve into the fact that he's more like Jason, like where he's just like this unkillable force, like zombie type person.
If you got the right
Where-
runes.
Right. Yeah.
If you got the right runes,
Right,
he's,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
unkillable. Or you can stop him with the right runes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Cult of Thorn.
What's that? What movie is that from? Is that?
The Return of Michael Myers and The Curse of Michael Myers, which are actually available to watch for free if you do a little digging, which is how I am aware of
You
them.
can skip them. They're not really that good.
One has Paul Rudd.
That is true. He plays Tommy Doyle.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he plays Tommy Doyle.
Huh.
Which I want to say that's maybe his I don't know if it's his first acting credit.
Is he real young?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
very
yeah,
young.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
around the same time as Clueless. Like he
Was
might have done that right before Clueless or right after Clueless.
Because I think his first acting gig was Wet Hot American Summer. I'm pretty sure
What year was that? Like 90?
Hold
that was probably early '90s. I'd say.
Yeah.
And that was because there's a big stars in that, like Bradley
Yeah.
Cooper.
Oh yeah.
And for most of them, that was kind of their
2001.
Wish we could see Evan. We can. Let's go to the Evan cam. There he
Leave
is.
me
Whoa!
alone.
Revealed the man behind the curtain.
Wow, American Summer was 2001.
2001. Yeah.
Wow, I thought that was like early 90s.
Oh no
I thought it was like mid 90s.
Early 2000s.
Wow.
Early 2000s. But I mean, I understand how Halloween has a lot of long shots and is quiet and has lots of atmosphere. But it was not like Evil Dead 2 because there were some
Well-
points where I was definitely bored.
It's definitely slow. It's a
Yeah.
slow film, and it's.
Are you serious? You think it's?
I mean, I want to say I was bored, never during it, because it's like one of my favorite movies.
I mean,
But-
Evil Dead 2 is just nonstop.
It was
Right.
yeah.
Evil Dead 2 is just go, 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 go,
Right,
go, go.
exactly.
This had moments where you're building tension and
Right.
there's like character development and things like that. But
Hey,
I wasn't bored.
My sister commented, "Hey Delaney, what's up? How are you?"
I just feel like I'm not being true to myself if I don't throw that out there. That at certain points I was like, all right,
I mean, it's
Okay.
definitely
let's get the show on the road here.
it's definitely not the bloodbath that I think it used to be. Because I mean, some of those, audiences back then in the late '70s, they weren't used to seeing.
I was
any
surprised
violence
how
type of
little
stuff.
blood there was.
I know there's really
There's
none.
really not any. Even the
There's
scenes
none.
where he's pinning them to the wall there or whatever. You don't really see a lot of blood or
Right.
anything
Or
like that.
any, really.
Yeah,
like,
I-
you only really see blood on the knife sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think when he kills, I can't remember her name, but it's in the car when he slashes her neck. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's some blood there, but I'm pretty sure that one of the producers did not want much blood.
I don't think he needed it.
Right? Yeah.
Well, because
He
then,
did not want to a gore fest.
well, probably the reason for that is because then you can get replayed on TV, and every time your movie gets played on TV, you make some money.
Yeah.
So you can get licensing. Maybe that's why. I don't know why, but I imagine that's part of it. But it's funny. I was talking about the Halloween stuff to my wife, and she mentioned that she mentioned to her parents that she and I watched the original Halloween, and her mom said, "Oh yeah, I can't watch that movie. It's way too gory."
Yeah. It's
It's like there's literally more blood in Jaws.
for sure. God, yeah.
yeah.
And that was PG-13.
Right. Not even PG-13. Jaws was PG.
Oh,
I
was
think,
it really?
I
you're
think
right, actually,
Steven
yeah.
Spielberg went to court over it,
Oh my god.
over the rating, and won.
Was that before they really had PG-13 ratings though? Like,
I think it
wasn't
was.
Raiders
I
of
think
the
it
Lost
was.
Ark like the first?
I don't know if it was the first, but
Let's ask the internet.
yeah,
I feel like
you might be right.
I feel like it was a Spielberg movie was the first PG-13.
You might be right. I'm trying to think.
He seems like he would have the clout to create something like that. Red Dawn,
Oh, interesting.
starring Patrick Swayze.
No, that's not correct.
That's what Google says.
Google's wrong.
1984.
Evan's right. Google's wrong. That's
Well, I feel like
Evan is
was
overriding
there-
Google.
No, I am because they're wrong. Wasn't there? There was an Indiana Jones movie that was '84 too. That was PG. So maybe that was like the first notable. Like not that Red Dawn's an unknown quantity, but like
Jaws cannot hold a flame to Sharknado. You're wrong.
What?
Just wrong. Cecilia commented that. I
You know,
think that's.
I haven't
right.
watched any of the Sharknadoes, but from the graphics, I think I can make the judgment call that Jaws is better.
Yes.
Jaws does not have Gilbert Gottfried, and Gilbert Gottfried is in 2 or 3 Sharknadoes.
Whoa, how did they get him?
I would give the yeah, I know he's booked up with all sorts of stuff. I would give the nod to Sharknado just because of the Gilbert Gottfried reference.
I do like Gilbert more as a character than any of his voice work, though. My frame of reference is the Letterman show and him just being there.
Yes.
In that capacity, I enjoy him a great deal.
Who's Letterman?
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I love Dave Letterman.
Can we talk about how does Mike Myers know how to drive a car?
That's.
I love how
mean,
they blow past that whole thing.
Yeah, I know. It's
an orderly taught him or something. I don't know.
That's what they said, but like that's such a load of like
oh,
that's
for
just an
sure.
excuse to.
For sure. Yeah, that was.
And did he need to drive a car?
No, because he could have just been in the neighborhood looking.
Kind of made it creepy though.
He could have just wandered around or just like. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was such a silly thing that took me out of it for a few seconds.
It definitely, it's
he's
definitely
this
like a plot hole. Yeah.
He's a raging psychopath, but the orderly's going to teach him how to drive a car in his spare time. Like, no, not buying it.
Yeah. It's definitely a big plot hole, and I know that's like a big thing on the internet too that people always argue. It's like, how can you? Drive
And it totally
a car?
didn't need to happen either.
No.
Because you could have easily worked around the car component
Again,
of that.
to me,
Well, I guess because that's how he gets to Haddonfield, right?
Yeah,
to
but
me,
he's an unstoppable force.
He's an supernatural force that, like if he just started to walk there, like,
I
the
don't
towns
know.
didn't need to be 100 miles
hitchhiked.
apart.
I agree. I think if they wrote
the town
it,
could be 20 miles.
could have
and-
hitchhiked.
yeah, no, I think that would have.
Hitchhiking, it's the 70s.
He would have killed the guy.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah. Ooh, Aaron, you figured it out. He could have hitchhiked and just killed people, and it would have been much more believable.
And then he could have
He'll just-
driven for a little while and smashed the car up. And the people were like, why are all these car accidents and dead people outside Haddonfield?
Ooh,
I don't
figured
know.
it out. No, he figured it out.
I think they should have made it where it was like, half an hour away the asylum. That way, it's like plausible that he could have walked.
Yeah,
you know?
I think these are all good solutions.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know what else do we.
So
have
this was
here?
like the most profitable indie. Was it? Would you call this
Yeah.
an indie film?
Oh,
yeah, it
definitely,
is
definitely
100%.
independent.
Yeah,
It grossed nearly $70 million, becoming one of the most profitable independent films of all time, and that's $1978.
And it was off a $300,000, $325,000 budget. I read both numbers, and
I
one of
don't
them
know.
one of them said like there was an extra $25,000 that was maybe thrown in at the end of
I don't
the
know
movie.
because I know
$300,000.
I know it started out small, like it only was in like a couple theaters in one city, and then it was just kind of
Word of mouth.
word of mouth, yeah.
Huh.
And then it just spread, and then next.
It
thing you
is
know, it's-
interesting. Like this is, before the internet.
right?
That like word of mouth literally would have been me calling you up on the phone the next town over and saying, "Hey, this is a really good." It's not like I feel like things can go viral so much faster in the days. You don't remember before the internet, Lucas.
No,
but
no.
the old fashioned days, yeah, like that's interesting. How something like that would go viral, basically.
I was watching an interview with, I can't remember if it was with John Carpenter or if it was with somebody else recently, that was talking about the first movie, that the person who championed that first movie actually was Roger Ebert, who said
Really?
that it was a very well made film, was the thing that he put in there. It wasn't I don't know if it was entirely positive, but he said it was very well made and it was very kind of like grim, which is true.
Interesting,
Which
Yeah.
is true, but
is
which
true,
will
yeah.
reach the people who maybe want to see that kind of stuff.
for sure.
Because I
for
think the
sure.
most shocking film before that was Psycho, right?
What about The Exorcist? When did that come?
Oh yeah, that must have been The Exorcist.
because I mean that.
And there's also
Psy-
Chainsaw Massacre.
Psycho
Right.
and Black Christmas were the two
Mm.
slashers that were cited that like before this, but
Right,
but really
yep.
Halloween was the movie that kicked off.
Yeah, I
the
think just because it
genre.
made so much money.
The original Black Christmas is great. Have you ever seen
I
that?
haven't.
I've not.
I saw the new one.
What's it
that-
about?
That came out recently.
Um,
Awful.
Well, it's got some commonality with Scream, where there's a killer that is killing girls in a sorority house. So there's, those kind of tropes of the college girl murders and is someone in the house? Is someone not in the house? And I think the first one of that, because they've remade it several times, and I think I watched one of the more recent remakes, but it just doesn't ring the same as the old ones, which always strikes me as odd, because it's like, why the original works. Why can't you just think about how that works and
Mm-hmm.
try and modify it and update it for
Modern
For-
audience, yeah.
instead of like trying to combine too many other things and make it totally different. I don't know. Maybe legal reasons. Maybe that's why.
I don't know. I mean, writers, they can get lazy. They know something works. They're just gonna try to copy it and remake it, beat for beat. That's what they did with the Psycho
Yeah.
Oh, the
remake.
the Vince Vaughn one.
Vince Vaughn. Yeah, it's pretty much like shot for shot the same thing.
I watched part of that. I didn't dislike it, but I don't dislike the original, so maybe that's why.
You what?
Of Psycho?
You don't like it?
No, I like the original
Oh, I was
Psycho.
gonna say.
I like the original Psycho, so that's probably why I enjoyed the parts that I saw of the
Right.
remake.
Yeah, that could be. Vince Vaughn was a weird choice for that film.
Vince Vaughn's a weird choice for that film. Can we
Yeah.
talk about the color scheme in Halloween 2?
Oh, you mean
the whites?
oh, not Halloween 2, but
the
Halloween as well.
The whites, the navy blue, and the orange was just very consistent throughout the whole thing, and I thought that was kind of interesting. That like blue is like a very common color, orange is kind of like an energy thing, and then the white's
Sure.
like a neutral. And I just felt like I kept coming back to like the white face, the mask, the white houses, and things
Right.
like that, and then all of the, I guess, typical October colors. But I don't know. I just thought the colors were very interesting in that film for whatever.
And it was made in California too. They what was
Yeah.
it? They literally had to bring in the leaves to like throw on the
Yep.
ground and stuff.
Yep.
And they only had like so many bags of leaves, so they'd have to throw all the leaves down for the shot, shoot the shot, then collect all the leaves again for the next shot.
Oh, that
And
sounds
and the
terrible.
the pumpkins they used weren't pumpkins. Yeah, I can't remember what type of like vegetable they were, but they just spray painted it to look like a pumpkin.
Huh.
That explains the
Because
vibrant color.
I was watching on Netflix. They have the show called The Movies That Made Us. I think it's
Yeah.
and they
Okay.
did one on Halloween. It came out like last week, and I watched
Oh
it.
man, that's one thing I didn't watch.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out. They did one on Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and it's interesting too because Friday the 13th is pretty much a rip off, complete rip off
Oh,
of
totally,
Halloween.
totally. Except they did make it more fun for quite a while.
Well, I guess. I mean, the gore was definitely more prevalent in Friday the 13th. Even in the first one, that's a pretty gory film.
Lucas, we got some comments.
All right, let's see. Is there a murderer lurking in the comic shop right now? Maybe. I hope not.
A murder lurking in the comic. No, definitely not.
Just petty criminals.
Who's this guy? I bet why
Oh, that's Alex.
Alex. Okay. Blue and orange are standard action movie palettes. Interesting choice. I guess.
Yeah, that is true.
I
That's
guess. Yeah.
Aaron,
Yeah.
talk to me about the Halloween 2018 movie. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
like the direct sequel to the
Yes.
30
For-
years later.
So
40.
directed
40,
by
thank you.
40
by
years
David
later.
Gordon Green.
Yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis is back. I think they brought back the original actor for The Shape.
Nick
in some
Castle.
scenes, at least in some scenes.
I don't know. I don't know because they might have.
I think they did. At
But
least,
they-
at least
they-
for some.
they have a different actor who plays the Shape.
Currently, yeah. So as with all great tragedies and horrible events in history, it starts with some podcasters.
Yeah,
Does it really?
it does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think they're British. They might be Australian. I think they're
something like
British.
that. I think they're British.
But
yeah.
but they are doing a podcast on serial killers, and they're featuring Michael Myers. And so they go to visit Michael Myers in the asylum, and they've got the mask because they talked to somebody in
the DA's office.
in the
I think.
DA's office, and so they're just trying to get him to make any kind of statement, or at least make a dramatic scene that they can then monetize into a book or something else.
Hard to feature a serial killer on a podcast who doesn't speak.
It'd be tough. Not the ideal
Yes.
guest for that.
But so then they go to meet Laurie Strode, and they try to do an interview with her, and they don't really get what they want out of that situation either. But Michael's about to be moved from the current asylum to another
Sounds
worse,
like a great idea.
worse mental
I know,
health situation.
What could
Right near
possibly go
Halloween
wrong?
too.
And so they transport him, and something happens on the way. Funny thing on the way to the worst asylum, car accident, and
Was Michael Myers driving?
he was not driving, and he damaged this vehicle beyond repair. So there's no way he could continue to drive it. But that's where the mayhem begins. and his first few targets are the people on the transport vehicle with him, and then some people stop, and then victims begin, and then Laurie Strode finds out about it and starts to try to figure out how to solve it.
How to kill Michael Myers.
Yeah, and then you learn
I
a
don't
little
think
bit.
you can.
And then they actually, there is an infusion of a younger cast, like the high schoolers.
Right,
And
yeah.
there's a high school dance. And I thought it was nice that they introduced some younger characters, so that way they could reintroduce some of those like slasher tropes that they helped invent, and like, you know what I mean, like bring those back in and have like a cast of characters that you can kind of learn about and like learn to care about a little bit. So that way, when the mayhem kicks in, it's not just like, oh, who's this guy? Oh, his head's over there now. Okay,
Right.
And they play around with that a little bit in the generational thing, and there's certainly more of an element of trauma in
Oh,
it
for sure.
than in some other stuff. Certainly more than a lot of slasher movies, because
Yeah,
they
I mean,
actually
it leans into that hard, the trauma that Laurie Strode had that night, and
how that ripples through
1978
her
and
family.
how it ripples through, and she was not the best mother to her daughter.
Bye, Cecilia. Good luck at Taekwondo.
All right, I'm out. I'm gotta go take Taekwondo.
Taekwondo. Whoa.
All right, have fun. Goodbye to everyone except Lucas, who has wronged me too many times. All right.
Oh wow.
That's
Jeez.
fair.
He'll forget who you are next
Oh,
week. Don't
yeah.
worry about it.
Welcome
I
to the
won't have-
grievance hour
I
with
won't
the
have
comic
another-
shop.
Oh, it
Tell me about the latest Halloween then, the one that just came out.
was good. You saw it, right?
I just saw it.
Okay,
I hopped on Peacock.
Peacock.
Our podcast not sponsored by Peacock.
Peacock,
Not sponsored by
the
Peacock.
best streaming service out there. Peacock.
It had Halloween Kills.
I
It was
know.
the only one that had that.
You have to pay for it.
I gave him
though.
$5.
It's no crackle.
It's no
Oh,
crackle.
Your
Oh,
crackle joke a few weeks ago was
Oh,
excellent.
it was great.
I did enjoy Crackle for a moment there.
I never used it.
That's where Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee started.
Are you
It was
serious?
on Crackle, yeah.
Very true. I think that's the only thing they had.
And they licensed an Ed Brubaker property. Was it executed great? No, but
What
I
was
watched
that?
it. I can't remember what it was. Internet, help me.
Internet.
So tell me about Halloween, the latest Halloween.
It was not as good as the 2018 one.
No.
Oh, really?
I didn't like it as much. It's
Oh, we'll have
it's
something to
because
talk about.
I mean they're doing another, and they always set out to do a trilogy.
Yep.
And this is the middle one, and it definitely feels, and it does not feel like a complete story.
Okay.
And so I think it falls from that. I think it will be better once you can watch all three right in a row. That way you can just click to see the
Right.
next movie. But yeah, it's a lot more gory too. There's so many more
Definitely.
kills.
But
Yeah.
it's not as like gratuitous like a Saw or a Hostel.
No.
Like they have an action happen and they show you the result of the action and then they move on to the
Right.
next.
I mean, there
thing,
was no
which-
points where I'm like, oh, I gotta look away. That's gross, Like, but there is a lot of kills and brutal kills too. I mean, Michael is.
Yeah, he's
he does
going
not
for
hold
it.
back.
This
when he-
is-
I'd go out
Is
as
this
far
the
to say
highest kill
he's
count?
not a good man.
I want to go that far.
Is he even a man?
And they also bring in the idea of, is he killable? Which I
don't think so, right?
I don't like that. I don't, because in the 2018 one, there's no like lore or magic that's like keeping him alive. And in this one, they touch on it where it's like once he has the mask on, he's like true evil, and he cannot be killed. And I was like, I don't like that. I just want this guy. He's a strong dude, and he can take a lot of
Punishment.
he can take a lot of stab wounds without being affected. Apparently,
Well, he did sustain permanent injuries too in the first one.
true.
Like when you see him later, there are some. I don't know how far into spoilers we want to go, but there you can definitely see that he's missing parts that he had originally in Halloween Kills. I really liked. I really liked this actor anyway. What was his name? It was the guy who played Christopher Walken's character from. He was also in Weird Science, also in Breakfast Club.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I agree with Alex here, who said it's not a very interesting angle. Part of the terror is he is just a human.
I like the idea
And I
of him
agree.
being. I like the idea of him being like a supernatural force. To be
No,
honest.
I don't.
No.
I just think it's. I don't know.
Or
I don't
maybe
like it.
to tie it somehow into like his mental capacity, right? Or somehow his mental condition wires him to think that he is, or if they lean into the science aspect of it, like if you believe you can type thing. I think maybe that could be interesting. And maybe that kind of feeds into the psychosis of like, if he can make people believe he's invincible, then it helps them realize
Well, I think
it.
that's kind of what they're leaning in towards.
Yeah, but
in some
Anthony
regard.
Michael Hall played Tommy Doyle, who was the kid that Jamie Lee Curtis was babysitting, and I like it. I like his stuff. Like I've liked him as an actor for a long time, but he was in Breakfast Club. He was
He
in.
played the original Tommy Doyle too.
No,
right?
no. He
Are
was.
you sure?
He I don't think so. I
Look
don't
that
think
up
so.
because I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so because I think this is the first time that he worked with somebody, but he had his own show that where he has the Christopher Walken character, The Dead Zone,
Right.
and
yeah.
I like that a lot. That show. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that, but
I saw the movie The Dead Zone.
yeah, well, the Christopher Walken movie is excellent, but I think he does a nice job making this his own too. And he's an icon of the '80s because he's one of the Breakfast Club kids, but and he was also in Edward Scissorhands, where he kind of transitioned from like the geeky nerdy guy to actually the bully. He played the bully character in Edward Scissorhands. Looks totally different. He's one of the people who's been an actor who's been able to like live many lives in Hollywood because his appearance has changed so drastically over the years. I mean, everybody changes, but like he like really changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are you sure? You got to look up and see because I swear the original actor that played Tommy Doyle played the Tommy Doyle in this movie.
What did Alex say?
That's the entire premise of Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. If you want the magic demon angles, which I agree, yeah.
Well, you guys are wrong, but that's okay.
It looks like a person named Brian Andrews played him in the original Halloween.
Why did I think? Because they brought back the original. They brought back the girl that played.
Brought back, not broke back.
I said brought back.
Okay, I thought you said broke back.
He said brought back.
Okay,
Yeah, I said brought back.
Brokeback Mountain,
They
a
brought-
haunting film, a really
The,
well done film.
What's her name? The little girl that is also in Halloween.
Oh yeah, they did bring her back. Because what else was she doing? She was on like Real Housewives or something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You guys want to look at some horror comics?
All right. Yeah. So let's do our final thoughts on Halloween Kills.
I enjoyed it for its kind of like comic book violence, and kind of like comic book plot of like the Haddonfield rises up and tries to strike back against Michael Myers with mixed effects. I feel like if you're gonna bring Michael Myers back, you need to have a movie like Halloween Kills where you see the mayhem on both sides, because the first movie certainly had a bit of that.
Ooh,
Oh, we got a
we got a subscriber.
Ooh, thank
Nick
you.
Liaz.
Well, thank you, Nick Liaz.
I don't know who that is, but thank you.
21.
Do we know who that is?
Think it's Nick Sweet?
Better not be.
But I mean, I think you do need a movie like that, and they introduced some of the old new characters, and I kind of wish
Right.
they had kept them around. I mean, I guess we don't know 100% if they're gonna keep them around or not, but like I thought they were such great, strong characters, like Anthony Michael Hall's character of Tommy Doyle tries to whip the town into a frenzy to get them to fight back, and I thought that was really dynamic. And some things happen, and he expresses some remorse, but still wants to keep going. I thought he was a pretty compelling character in the absence of Laurie Strode being the number one action
Yeah, I can see that.
person.
I agree.
I mean, I definitely think it's incomplete, but it's a really solid middle piece, and a lot of times that middle piece is not great.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wish we just got more of a Laurie. Like, she was just kind of not in the movie a whole bunch.
Yeah,
Which
she's in the
I mean, they're
hospital.
definitely leading towards a big third act
Mm-hmm.
of Laurie versus Michael, which will be exciting. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I wonder how they can even.
I wonder if they're going to do like a time jump.
They have to,
That's what I'm thinking.
because you can't have every single character take that much abuse and
I
then,
know.
and then be like,
know.
okay, and the next one.
Yeah, I know. And Laurie's like she's
It's pretty rough.
like down for the count for a bit. She's not getting back up soon. So
Yeah.
my guess is they're going to jump to the next Halloween where Michael will return.
They would have to because this is just one night, right?
Yeah.
Do something else.
The first two movies is just one Halloween night.
Yeah, it's just like a marathon of
So
an all-nighter.
Yeah, I can't imagine they'll do. I
If
bet
they've got to.
I bet they'll jump forward. The granddaughter. Well, I don't want to spoil anything actually. Go see
The
Halloween
great
Kills.
granddaughter. They'll jump 40 years in the future.
Yeah.
It'll be flying cars and Michael Myers. Jason in space, but with Michael Myers. That's the sequel. I did it.
I'd watch it. Maybe.
Well, everybody else has gone to space, right?
That's true. That's true.
Has Freddy gone to space?
No, they had a Leprechaun.
Leprechaun in space.
Yeah.
Hellraiser was in space.
Was he?
Was
Oh
he?
yeah, yeah.
you
Bloodline,
sure?
Hellraiser Bloodline. Yep.
Jeez, they went all over the place.
The terrible secrets of space. Let's talk comics.
Let's talk comics.
What do we
you have one
got?
back there for me?
Shall we move to?
Yeah, let's move. We're gonna play another little bumper here.
Ooh.
Let's play
The Comic Shop, featuring the
bumper?
same carpet for over 30 years. The Comic Shop.
Beautiful.
Did we just say? Stacy?
All right, so
Is it over?
It is over.
Oh,
The
You
comic
missed
shop.
it. All right, Aaron, what do we got? Let's go to our little document camera here.
Document
Oh, we got
camera.
your-
Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Not sponsored by Microsoft Surface, although I wish I was. Microsoft, sponsor me.
that will be our first sponsor.
Nailbiter. I haven't actually read this at all.
None of
This-
us have read Nailbiter, but Lucas was going through horror books, and we thought
I
it
heard
looked
good
like
things
fun.
about it.
Yeah, I know.
I may put that in my pull box. That
Although,
I'll never get to.
Lucas, I'm seeing some watercolor on this cover.
We
yeah,
know. We
but
know.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as Descender.
I just want to let you know that next week I'm teaching my middle schoolers about watercolor.
That was like I always hated that unit. I always hated watercolor.
Joshua Williamson. What else is he? He writes a bunch of DC stuff, but nothing
Yeah.
was really jumping out at me in regards to.
Ooh, that's pretty graphic. Oh,
Hey, my mom subscribed too.
Hey,
oh,
Thank you,
so
Mom.
much.
thanks, Mom.
Appreciate the support. She's mad at me right now.
Is she?
Oh,
Yeah.
Why
'Cause
would you do?
I have no money, and she's like, "Dude, you gotta save."
You got paid today. I know because I
Well,
paid
tomorrow.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pending.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
So,
It is.
yeah.
It is. Oh no.
And I'm
it's-
getting.
No,
yeah.
it's Thursday.
No, I checked today. It's pending. It comes in on Friday.
Mom, he's getting paid today. So
I'm getting paid tomorrow.
see, Lucas, back in my day, when I was going to SUNY Oswego and I had no money, I went to the campus cafe where they had wheat crackers and little honey packets. And I dined like a king.
Sure sounds it.
dude, same thing. Worked at Wegmans,
Yeah.
and they would always have the saltine crackers that were just out by the soups, and I would just eat saltine crackers like.
That's funny.
Sometimes you can do what you got to do. Luckily, I had a connection because I used to work with somebody who worked at the college, and I would go in with my ID, and they would turn the ID upside down and just swipe it and be like, "You're good." And I was like, "Thank you."
Oh, I
Which
wish I knew
was,
something like that.
What do,
it was
so what do we think of
amazing.
the art in this book here?
It's pretty
I
solid.
dig the art. Look,
Yeah.
see, that's not watercolor though.
Well,
Not
but
like
the
Descender.
cover
The
was.
cover.
The cover was, yes.
It's kind of got like a Declan Shelby kind of vibe to it. Oh, look, killer deals.
He needs to give him more tips. Give me more tips on how to survive college.
Looks like they incorporated that type in the lettering, not in the art. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. That's a small thing, but it looks fun.
Looks scary.
It's moving right along.
really wanna
Ooh,
read that.
we got a little guy with a burlap sack hat or a mask. He's looking scary. Kind of like maybe a little bit more developed artwork than Chew, if you're familiar with that Rob Guillory
Yeah.
thing.
Who did the art in this book?
Good question. Art by Mike Henderson, who is I think
Henderson?
this guy has done some stuff for Syracuse University.
You're kidding.
Really?
I don't. I think it's Mike Henderson because I think back when I still was kind of active on the Behance website, which is like the artist website for Adobe. They bought it. I think I followed him. I think he did some auto illustrations, so he's got some connections to Central New York. At least doing some work for this area.
Interesting.
But yeah, he's a solid artist.
Joe Kubert School alumni.
Yeah, Cubert, a Cubie,
Cubert.
affectionately referred to as Cubies. But yeah, it looks like this. It looks like a pretty fun story. Like if you like Something's Killing the Children, or
love Something's Killing the Children.
I think this is in the same vein. Not the same type of story, but
Right.
but it looks like it's a pretty brisk story with some like good character development, some good action, solid characters. I don't want to give away too much, But
Have you read it? You haven't read it.
no, I have not read it. This is my first time flipping through it. I've seen it on the shelves for a while, but you see things and you don't always pick them up.
I hear good things about it. Can't remember
It's
where
only
I heard
$10.
good things.
That's a steal.
I know. I saw that, so I'm like, oh, maybe I should
the
get
image,
that.
the first image trades, I think, are still a great deal. The $9.99 for the first
Yeah.
volume.
This one's $9.99 too.
Yeah, that's the,
Oh man.
Some aren't though. Like, maybe it's not Image though that does it, because I know, haha.
Mm-hmm.
You know haha.
was that a Boom Studios or
No,
Maybe-
haha was Image.
it was Image?
Yeah, it's like $16.
They
Yeah.
they don't do all $9.99s anymore.
And
which
I
is
think
too
the reason
bad.
because it's not continuing. It's not an ongoing series. Like I'm pretty sure that's
Oh
it.
no, haha was not Image. I'm thinking Ice Cream Man. Haha
Yes,
was
yes, you're right.
haha was
But that's not.
Was it Aftershock
maybe it was
or
I don't know.
It's out there.
Boom
You only gotta
Studios
look.
Yeah.
maybe? But
Um,
yeah, so there's this other book, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
So
About vampires.
yes,
Cool.
so the reason I got into Philadelphia was there's this artist, Jason Sean Alexander, who I think is one of the best artists doing anything right now. I think comics is lucky to have him because he doesn't need to do comics; he could do anything. But he worked on Spawn for a little while with Todd McFarlane for their
Yes.
dark horror
Yep.
run, and then he worked with another writer for another piece of that. And I really love his stuff. He's got some other Image stuff with some creator-owned properties, where it's kind of like a future dystopia, like cyber type thing, and it's pretty wild. Maybe the story isn't always great, but the art is just like spectacular in that. And he's got a really good writer this time around with Rodney Barnes. We kind of talked about him a little bit last week because he wrote the Ash versus Army of Darkness 1979.
Yes.
So, and they're buddies too. But this is an interesting thing. I've been following this. I'm a little bit behind on it, but like great design in this book.
Actually, I like the first image as well as the second page, the title page there. Just the design of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, look at this. I totally get like Night of the Living Dead vibes from this black and white artwork featuring
Give
this
us the
character.
synopsis.
And look at this. We got some halftone dots in there. This rough ink.
Love a Zipatone.
This is why I get the book. I mean, the story's good too, but like the art is just, you're not going to get a book that looks this good monthly anywhere else. Look at this. Look at that that artwork. That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Like, so good. And he brings it too. Like he's like his artwork is like a full contact sport. He's just going nuts all the time. He will mix in like full painting, like oil paintings, and it'll be Procreate and then ink. He's all over the place. I follow him on Instagram, so I see this different stuff that he's doing. So what it is there's pieces of it that are the main set pieces are set in Philadelphia, which
Right.
is Philadelphia is a reference to. So it's about a character who is a police officer, and his father was a police officer too. And his father got wrapped up in some vampire stuff, and so it's him trying to unravel the mystery of his father's disappearance and trying to figure out how that ties into the history of Philadelphia and the history of America as well. And
Interesting.
it does tie into race, it ties into slavery a bit, but it all has a feel kind of like Seven. Like that's the vibe I get from like David
Gotcha.
Fincher's film, where it's a lot of like ground level people investigating, or you could
we
say
not-
X-Files.
Do we not have any audio right now?
Check one.
Check. Guess not.
Oh no, or do we just not see it?
Hello.
Well, that's working.
It looks like
I don't know.
the audio
'cause-
deck is there. Do we just need to test?
Oh, scroll down a little bit.
Hello. Yeah,
Okay,
there
all right,
we
we're
go.
good. We're
Yeah,
good. All right.
Okay,
I don't know why that
freaking
was
me out there.
Oh
Yeah,
my!
yeah.
You gave me a heart
I'm
attack.
giving,
Sorry, guys.
giving this great commentary here.
Holy smokes!
Oh, my one critique is, I know you're trying to be old timey with like these handwritten notes, but if you want somebody to read your stuff, especially if it's this dense,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah, that's bad.
Come on.
That's bad.
At least my philosophy for when I make comics is like make it so easy for them to read the comic that they read it on accident. That's
That's a good philosophy. I mean, you want your reader to just read in ease,
yeah,
not
exactly.
have to work.
And that's some of the stuff that I talk about. Well, we were having this conversation earlier today when I was talking about mangas. You pick up those things, and I'm still newer to manga, and there's some good stuff out
Lucas
there.
loves manga.
Like
I wouldn't go that far.
but
I
I
like
was
one manga, and that's
but I was flipping through Chainsaw Man, and I'm just like, this thing just flows. Like you open it up, like you don't even necessarily
great things
even
about
need
that.
to read it. Just looking at the images, you just get sucked into it.
I hear amazing things.
And
about
I
that
think
series.
that Jason Sean Alexander has a bit of that quality too. Not that his artwork is anything like manga, but like visually, it just sucks you in. And then there's other characters that emerge, and there's mysteries that are solved.
We talk about this
Here.
all the time with your artwork. I just love the super high contrast that you get
Yeah,
with that stuff.
yeah. I think it's I don't know exactly where it comes from, but like that's something that I definitely go for, and I really like black and white artwork and making the artwork look good in black and white first, and then going from there after.
Is there a little Jay Lee vibe to this too, or am I?
There's some
off?
Jay Lee in here, I think.
You're off.
Oh, look at
You're
this.
big time off, Evan.
That is beautiful. Look. I love like the little bits of paint underneath that, and then like it's almost like a watercolor coloring on top of it. So much watercolor, all the watercolor. But it's just like if even if the words get dense, sometimes it's just visually stunning. Like you don't get covers that look this good on most comics.
And he's doing the whole thing.
He's doing everything, and yeah, it's gotten some attention. Like I know some there's gotten like a J. Scott Campbell cover. It's gotten Bill Sienkiewicz cover in recent times. There's a Jim Mahfood cover here too. Ooh.
So Alex mentioned that this is another book that just came out that he's also writing.
Oh, Alex is writing this book?
Alex Dexter is writing.
Whoa. Nita Hawk's Nightmare Block. Oh, yeah. I think I was aware of this because Jason Charles Alexander was doing covers for this.
And it's another Rodney Barnes, right?
Yes, it is. Ooh, did he do the interiors on this too? How did I not know about this? We got a Cthulhu on page 3.
I know. I was going to say
That's sick.
Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraftian.
How did I not know about this? Oh, and it looks like they kind of cast the guy from Lovecraft Country, like the uncle, a little bit. I guess he was on The Wire. I never watched The Wire.
I tried to watch The Wire. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. I hear amazing things, but
I tried to get into it too.
it just didn't do it for me. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Wow, this stuff is great. Oh, some violence in there.
Some violence. Hopefully, no
A little bit more
nudity.
streamlined down. Another police procedural horror type thing. I think that's just a good format. Police procedural horror. You can do so much stuff with that, and it's so much fun.
For sure.
And it's ground level, but it can take you to other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
100%.
looks great. Is this published by Image? $4.
$4.
Rodney Barnes, Jason Sean
You
Alexander.
can't beat it.
The same team as Philadelphia. I mean, the Philadelphia first volume for $10. I mean, you really can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't. That's a great deal.
But yeah, I really like this series. I've got them all. Artwork is really good. I'm a little bit behind. I actually need to dig in and read it.
How many volumes of Philadelphia are there? 3?
I think there's probably 3 because I have 2 collected volumes.
Yeah.
So they probably have collected another one since I got the other one. But yeah, I can't
Great
recommend
series,
Rodney
great
Barnes
series.
and Jason Sean Alexander enough. They're a really good team.
And you can buy all this at the comic shop in Oswego.
The comic shop.
Let's play another little bumper here.
Okay.
Ready?
112 East Bridge Street, the comic shop. 112 East Bridge Street, the comic shop.
There's a lot of beautiful synth in there.
There is. It's beautiful.
Alrighty, what next?
Sparkling synth.
I don't know. Are we gonna talk a little? What is it? Kayfabe Tober, Inktober,
Oh,
Retro
yeah,
Art
I can-
Supply Tober.
Let's
I can play
see what
my-
you've been
my-
up to.
My mega mix here.
All right, we'll let you set this up first here.
Let's see
Well,
what
it's
you've
not
been
gonna take
up
that
to.
long.
All right.
Thanks to the power of the Microsoft Surface.
Oh, we'll go
I can
back.
drop it. I can drop it right there. Bam! Look at this.
It's
I
kinda,
feel like the camera's very blurry. Everything's out of
I
Well,
focus.
think
well, this
it's
the
it's
screen
his
here.
video.
Oh, is
yeah.
it?
For
Yeah.
some reason, one of my exports got real low res. But don't worry, that's the very last one. Let's see. Will you go? Hey, there we go. So
Whoa.
Shang-Chi,
Shang-Chi.
which is actually from late September.
Oh,
Then some drawing for
Oh.
Bones, little time lapse going on here.
Look at that.
I think that was the first word for Frightfall. I think was bones or skulls. I can't remember exactly. Oh, here's a little demo I was working on for my art club kids, where I ordered a bunch of these little wooden ornaments that were pumpkins. Did a little painting demo for adding some dimension to that, adding a little bit of a little bit of those jack-o'-lantern details there.
You're a jack-o'-lantern.
Thank you. These demos, man, they add up over time. There's the Jack Kirby Monster X or Robot
Yeah,
X
remember that.
interpretation, Raina Telgemeier with Wesley. So
Randy Telgemeier, they got a little love off of that kayfabe group.
yeah, they did. This is back when I was able to do things way ahead of time. I actually haven't posted the Osamu Tezuka inspired one, like he did Astro Boy. 2000 AD inspired one with Beatrice as kind of like a judge. Ed Piskor one.
Oh,
he
the Ed
reposted
Piskor.
that one.
Did he?
Wow.
Yeah, he put it in his stories at least. Little Devil.
That's
for
pretty
this one.
cool. I like that one.
Let's see what's coming up next. Oh yeah, the
Oh.
corn cob Dormammu.
Corn Cob Dormammu. Again, also good laughs at the kayfabe group.
Yeah, I get good response from them. Some lettering that I was working on. Haunted house. Get to see the
A honkin' house.
the honking house. It's just everybody. You walk in, they hand you a trumpet. Like you better be honking within 5 minutes, or maybe they hand you a little car horn. But yeah, I knocked out this haunted house pretty quickly. You can see some of the architecture is a little wonky, but that's okay.
No, it's great.
But I got it done. Got it done and posted it. Oh yeah, the one for Vampire. This one was fun. I looked up some reference for this, and I mostly used that medium brush pen from Pentel with the gray barrel. That's my weapon of choice, man. If I'm going analog and I got to work fast, it's got to be the medium Pentel brush pen.
Ask for it by name.
Ask for it by name. Tell them Aaron sent you. Because they don't sponsor me, they won't know who you're talking about. But and I used just a flat brush to add in some ink, some Ben Cooper costumes. Kind of created a little image here where every one of my characters has a little Halloween costume that's cheap that any kid can dress up as. So you can be the star of your Halloween party by dressing up in a Wesley the Robot costume or Creep of the Crop or LT Provolone, or maybe you just want to be an anchovy. Some people do. It's all right.
Nothing wrong
That's
with
okay.
that.
What did I ink this in? I think I inked this in Adobe Fresco. Speaking of Surface, I wish they sponsored me because they just released the Surface Laptop Studio, which is really cool, and they updated their pen, so their pen is now even better. Like it's like the weirdness that people complain about of the previous pens, like the one I have, which is still very good, has been removed allegedly. I haven't had a chance to test it myself, but some people that are good talk about it. And you can just pull the screen forward or push it down to make it into a tablet. That was the Milestone inspired one. Here's our John Carpenter. I think I was working on that.
Yep.
You
one
want
of
to?
these.
Yep.
And there's another little Halloween demo. I was doing Halloween still lifes with my kids using secondary colors, which are green, purple, and orange. Do you know how you get the secondary colors, Lucas?
Yeah.
Do you know what colors you have to use to get
Pray to the devil. And he provides them for you.
No, you mix all the primary colors.
Hey, good man. Good man. I'd give you a buck if I had one of those.
What's that?
It's our currency inside the school.
It's like a middle school Bitcoin.
Yes. It totally is. And you can use them to buy like video games or something if you have enough
Really?
of them. Yeah, allegedly.
You can buy video games.
I think so. I think
What type
so.
of video games?
Like Xbox games and stuff. Ooh, here's some werewolves.
That's sweet.
Some werewolves going on in there. Oh, there's another shot of the vampire.
Vampire. I
Some-
want
some
to
brush-
suck
Ooh,
your
the cat.
blood.
The black cat. That was actually a drawing I did in 2014, but never inked it. Ooh, hey, look at that pan.
Wow.
I'm just like
Beautiful.
Lucas. Pan
Beautiful.
a camera. Oh yeah, and this is the thing we're working on currently. Let's see. I don't know if we can get that.
This is an image of a computer of a computer.
Yes, it's what we do here. Computers on computers.
Wow.
But we're doing a hand with a middle ground, or foreground, middle ground, background, teaching them about depth a little bit.
I'm not even sure what's going on at this point. This is
Yeah, I've
wild.
just taken over. It's the supercut. Ooh, and some zombie artwork. This is from back in the day, but hey, if it's good, let's reuse it again.
Why
And then-
not?
and some
Yeah,
ash.
Ash.
from working on some bumpers for when all this stuff goes up on YouTube. Or not bumpers, title cards. There we go.
Thumbnails.
I know words. Thumbnails.
Thumbnails.
It's all the same. Not really.
No, I mean it is.
But it's all images that will be representing this stuff. Black and white version of that too.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's that again.
I like that one.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. And then a little bit crisper of this example here of the Halloween still life. And then
CRISPR, the DNA editing software.
Yes. And then this one is there's some spoilers. That's the new Barnaby Death Castle after being infused with the Feldgeister, and there's a Fedora Boy also being infused with the power of the Feldgeister. And then this is just a quick little drawing I did of death. So I found this cool little public domain image of a skull with a little hood, and I made it look better than that image because the image wasn't great, but it was a good idea. Tom Sholey,
Ooh,
one
I
of
like
the
that one.
one of the cartoonist kayfabe lieutenants there.
There's Mikey.
Yeah, the guy we were talking about today. There he is.
That's cool.
The interesting thing I did with that is I went straight to inks. I didn't do any drawings underneath it. And this is George Fikes, who was a British soldier that was stationed at Fort Ontario. And their legend is he died. I can't remember how exactly he died at Fort Ontario, but the legend is if you stand on his grave, you can find it over by Lake Ontario or Fort Ontario. If you stand on his grave, he'll haunt you for the rest of your life. But if you jump over where he's buried, you can choose who he's going to haunt.
What if your dog poops on his grave?
You're definitely getting haunted. There's no way out of that one. But that's something I'm gonna pursue maybe next year for Inktober is
Have a personalized haunting by George, whatever his name is.
George Fikes. No, look up some of those local haunting stories and at least do illustrations of them. Maybe do like 1 or 2 a week.
We should talk about that on the podcast. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. We can. I can
Local,
start building it now, and then when Inktober hits, I don't have to do any drawing. I can just goof around.
Just have fun.
Lucas, tell
Yes.
us about your movie that you're working on. Give
My
me
movie? Oh, boy.
give me a 1-minute synopsis of your movie that you're working on.
Okay, so I'm working on a senior thesis, and for any
65 and older.
any local comic book shoppers here at the Oswego Comic Shop, you may know Phil. He's a legend. He's a local legend here in town, and
If you step on him, he haunts you forever. But if you jump over him,
He's very impressed.
he's very impressed.
and I'm using him in my short film as it's a mockumentary. So pretty much the log line is my character, who I'm playing, Barry Brewster. I really like that name. He has a week left to do his senior thesis. So he decides to make a documentary on this local mansion house. And he starts to interview people and learn about the history. And it kind of turns sinister, and he finds out the place is haunted. So then it turns into he asks the question, are ghosts real? And he goes ghost exploring. And then the reveal is it was him all along. He was just trying to make it interesting. And then I wanted
Gee, spoilers! Come on.
Wait, he's the ghost?
He's not the ghost. He was just setting everything up to make it look like it was haunted.
Oh,
makes sense.
Okay. So he made a movie about a haunting.
Yes, and then I want the final shot to be not filmed like a documentary, just like a regular short film.
It's just gonna be a bunch of people jumping over Phil.
Yeah, you got it.
Can we do a little graphic like a little Mario? It just goes boing.
Yeah. And I want it to be like give away that, oh yeah, no, this place is actually haunted. It was that's it.
It was actually haunted the whole
It
time.
was actually haunted the whole time.
We didn't even know.
Because in short films you kind of want twist,
Yeah.
just to make it more interesting. So I'm like, okay, the twist can be that it was, a stage that Barry Brewster, he's a con artist. And then I wanted to
Much like the other Brewster that I know in real life.
well, Brewer, not Brewster.
Oh, sorry.
Close. Almost. You got the brew part right. But yeah, so that's the story.
How'd you secure the star Phil?
I just asked. He was very enthusiastic about
I paid him with a donut.
He
Oh,
did,
really?
Yes, he did. He was very enthusiastic about it, and I edited it too. So
Oh, it's already shot.
Just the interview. I haven't shot.
Oh, okay.
Because there is a mansion house where I'm from,
Oh, okay.
and I plan on shooting in there. I already talked to the people, and
Very
things are
cool.
looking up that I'll be able to shoot there.
Oh, is it? Are you talking about the Munson Williams Proctor?
Mm-hmm.
No, a different place. Okay.
It's the Oneida Community Mansion, I guess it's called. I think.
Alex comment said it's sad Rosemary Nesbitt passed. She was big on the local scary stories and urban life. Who is that?
Yeah, he's right. I used to go and see her talk on Halloween because she would do these ghost storytellings where she would just recount all the ghost stories of the region. I don't know if she's actually written a book or not, or if they were just just folklore. But yeah, that's one of my dream projects is to dig into that and then do. I don't know if I would do like a fully illustrated graphic novel of all the stories, or perhaps do just recount the stories like written, and then do illustrations for each. But that is something I would really like to do. I guess some of her family is still around, and maybe I could reach out to them
That'd be awesome.
to work with them for that. But oh yeah, we got some other stuff to shill.
Yes.
Go to the
Yeah,
shill
Yeah,
cam.
let's shill some stuff here. And,
Let's do this.
you got it. All right.
Shill cam activate.
So
okay.
this is what's. Well, these
Yeah,
are
go
out already.
Yeah, these came out this Wednesday. Just we were talking about Basket Full of Heads a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we've got Refrigerator Full of Heads.
It's like, hey, you like this? Silence. And then it just shows up. It's like, what?
Yeah.
There's more? Are you kidding me? How come I didn't know about this? Well, now you know. Joe Hill's Hill House Comics, Refrigerator Full of Heads, and different team, but man, does it look good.
Yeah, this is not the team that did Basket Full of Heads.
No.
But it's the same characters. I mean, they've still got that Nordic axe on the front or something like that, so it looks like it's the same. We're still cutting off heads.
Maybe not the same characters, but the same enchanted axe. Maybe it's a sequel in the way that that the artifact is creating some more stuff. Or maybe it looks like maybe it's 80s because this guy looks like he has a Frankie Says Relax shirt on. But I don't want to give away too much of this because I actually haven't even read this yet, but it looks great.
Does look pretty cool.
And then,
Just to be silly.
Cinderella versus Zombies.
Zombies.
Both public domain things. Everybody out there, you can do your own Cinderella versus Zombies, just so long as it doesn't look like this one. It has to look a little different. Oh, I like this little sword through the mouth there. Oh, this must be the guy who lost his head.
His head's in the refrigerator.
Whoa, it's like a go-go dancer. Go-go dancer with zombies. Okay. Oh, you know what's a really good zombie book? I mean, this looks fun, but have you ever read iZombie?
No.
With Mike Allred and Chris Robertson?
Oh, yeah.
You read it?
No, but I was blanking on what it was.
I love that series. They turned it into a TV show. I
did, yeah.
watched an episode of it, and it just, I don't know. When you like something as one iteration and they go drastically in a different version of it, like it's tough to like the next one because Mike Allred's artwork on that, like the story was really cool and interesting too, but the show was not as like bright and poppy as the storyline. Ooh, look at this! They're feeding this guy pizza. You guys got to get this now.
Wow.
He's eating pizza.
Is it Pizza's Pizza?
No. It's too much cheese. Priest's Pizza is very sparing with the cheese.
They're more of a sauce pizza.
They're more of a sauce. You're right. That's correct, actually, and accurate. Yeah. Speaking of Priest's Pizza, available for $10 at the comic shop.
The comic shop.
All right.
Oh, we got some Funko Pops here.
Yeah, we got some kind of Halloween-themed Funko Pops that came in this week.
The
Kinda cool.
Gremlin, great for Halloween. Also good for the rest of the year. It's
Best
like
Christmas movie ever made.
Gremlins 2, Gremlin, right from the movie theater when Hulk Hogan bursts in. He's like, "Hey, you guys need to turn the movie back on," and they're like, "Okay." You know what I'm talking about?
No, but it sounds
Oh,
fun.
you haven't seen it? I saw
Seen
it.
the first.
I saw it
Gremlins.
forever ago. Gremlins 2. They've got Zero in a duck cart.
Wow.
from
Everybody loves
Before
Nightmare.
Christmas.
I
Yeah,
don't.
You
That-
don't?
it's like a good nightmare.
Actually,
or a good November 1st.
Last Friday when we were playing Friday Magic on the computer or the TV here, somebody put on Nightmare Before Christmas, and I hadn't seen that in forever.
Oh, I don't like it.
You
Freaks
know,
me out.
you know what's a crime that I committed? I didn't watch Nightmare Before Christmas, the whole thing all the way through until last year. Can you believe that?
Really?
I had been aware of it. I think It's so weird because parents are so weird. Like they'll let you watch the weirdest stuff. Like they thought like letting me watch like the R-rated Fame was like totally fine, and like Bloodsport and like all these other
Bloodsport, the greatest movie ever.
and all these other weird.
We're gonna watch Bloodsport one of these weeks.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we
Like
will.
then there's all these weird like horror movie type things. My dad was totally okay with me watching, but then when Nightmare Before Christmas came out, they were like absolutely not. That is too scary, and I was like, what?
How old were you?
I don't know.
was
Maybe third or fourth grade.
I feel like what year would you think this was? 95?
Nightmare Before.
It's got to be before that.
Before that?
I think so. I think it's early 90s. I don't think it's 95. Can you think of it contemporaneously with like Lion King? Come out in the
Lion
same-
King was 90.
95.
No,
Wasn't it?
earlier? 93.
Are you sure?
Yep.
That feels like Aladdin times.
Aladdin might have been 93. Lion King might have been 94. You're right. 93 for Nightmare.
Yeah.
God damn, you're good.
93 for Nightmare?
Yep.
It's a curse.
I felt like that came out when I was a kid.
Maybe it got the re-release when you were a kid.
Maybe.
But yeah, anywho,
All right, let's chill some more stuff here.
it's time to shill. Begin the shilling. Ooh, the shilling. That's got to be a horror movie already, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
But yeah,
Oh, do you want to plug Lowe's first?
Yeah, shop at Lowe's, please. It's great.
are they in danger of going out of business?
They
That's
are,
So they could
actually.
advertise so much.
Yes. That's why they hired me, because they knew I did a podcast and I could promote
Yeah.
them.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard of the Sogo Comic Shop Makes a Comic, we put out an issue every summer, every winter. It's extreme
Every
summer
day.
splash. Not every day. Oh my gosh.
Every day.
But the community here at the Oswego Comic Shop puts together their own pages of their own story. We've got, this great interior cover by me.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think it came together pretty darn
I
nice.
like it.
I enjoyed it a lot. But some great talent by local friends, and local and far friends from all over the place. Some great artwork. We encourage you to join us this winter. Probably will be like towards January to do another one of these, to compile all of the stuff together and put these things in there, given away for free at the comic shop. Hey, we've also got this thing called Fanfare coming up.
What's that?
Oh,
October
there we go.
23rd. It's at the CNY Arts Center in Fulton, New York. A portion of the proceeds go to the Minetto Elementary Inclusion Playground. So that is this Saturday. That's October 23rd. It's
Are you
coming
gonna be
right
there?
up. I'm going to be there, yeah.
Are you going to be there?
I sure will be.
All right, I'm not going to go then. No, I'll be there too.
I'll be selling some Wesley the Robot comics and some maybe some
Comic shop will be there in
postcards.
full force. We've got a bunch of games. Joe will be running some Magic. We'll be doing a little D&D. We'll have comics to sell. Aaron will be there. Lucas will be there.
I will be there.
The gang will all be there.
So if you can't get
Except
enough
for Martin.
of the
Martin will
podcast-
be at the shop. So visit Martin at the shop too.
Man,
Well,
cares about Martin?
just come see us. You don't need to go to see Martin. No, you should. You should go see Martin.
I
But
would.
yeah, we got some other fun stuff in there. I would just want to show off all the covers for this. So the Evan Coy, Aaron Z. Lee collaboration, colored by Eric Miller, aka the Fat President, in this thing too. So much fun with the coolometer and all that stuff.
With Lucas being the neutral point.
Yes.
Whoop.
Yes.
I'll
Oh,
take
no,
it.
we had to take something out. But initially, Lucas was the neutral point.
Oh,
We took
initially.
out a joke because we weren't sure how
How it
somebody
would be
might take
received.
it. We should have
Yes.
just left it in.
But
What was the
Yeah.
joke?
We were making fun of Larry,
yes.
the owner.
Larry, yes, I know Larry.
But yeah, anyway, so the one of the things I do is Was the Robot. This is a series I've been working on since 2019, but really it's 17 years in the process. In the
17
making.
years,
Oh
huh?
yeah, it goes all the way back to my freshman year of college. I think it's the year you were born, Lucas, 2004.
I was born in I was born in 2000.
Yeah, not far off, right?
Not far off.
So Wesley is almost as old as you, Lucas.
Wow, that's
but-
sweet.
Yeah, but it's an ongoing series written and drawn by me with interviews by bands like The Faint, Abso Facto, Interpol, Chain Gang in 1974, Long Wave, all that kind of stuff is in the back. Robot comes to life out of the soundboard at a radio station, indie rock radio station, and chaos ensues. I'm working on the big finale to the current arc of issue number 9. And it is a monster. It's already like 15 pages, and it's going to easily be 40 pages. It might end up being like 64 pages. Who knows?
Jeez.
But I'm really trying to.
Sounds like too much work.
But I gotta stick to landing, because it's been good all the way along, and then once that comes out, I'll do some bells and whistles.
You're not
on
going
the
to stall it
final one.
out and just run it into the ground. That's what I would do.
What do you
Me
mean?
too, big time.
You did all the hard work. It doesn't matter anymore.
What?
What?
No, the work is now, and then later I get to have a good book.
Alright. Lucas
But,
and I have
uh,
a differing opinion.
It might not be 64 pages, but with bonus stuff, it might end up being that long.
No, that's cool.
But it'll be cool. It's getting horror infused. It's getting cosmic infused. It's also gonna end up someplace very familiar, and that's how we'll tease it.
The comic shop.
112 East Bridge Street.
It's
The comic shop.
It's the comic shop.
You're not wrong.
I knew I was right. I'm excited. Am I going to be a character in it?
If you are, you'd be in Wesley X, which is the next one.
Oh, sweet. Heck yeah.
Hold on, we're going to play another bumper real quick.
All right.
The Comic Shop, featuring the same carpet for over 30 years. The Comic Shop.
Did you kill it?
Oh,
All right, I think we're out of steam
that's
here.
well.
Do we have anything else?
Let's talk about what we're watching.
Oh,
next.
that's right. What are we watching next week?
I suggested The Exorcist.
Okay.
Everyone down for that?
I'm down for it.
I can watch it.
You don't want to watch it.
You gonna get scared?
It seems boring to me, but I'll give it a shot.
Have you never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Really?
You'll love it.
You've watched everything.
Not everything.
Huh.
How have you not? How have you not seen The Exorcist?
I've
That's
seen,
what
I've
we're
seen
watching.
parts of the third one.
Oh, the best one.
There's
All right.
a lot of people that do like the third one.
For the viewers out there, watch The Exorcist and come back next week. Hopefully on Tuesday, not Thursday. Hopefully
Hopefully we'll figure this out.
yes.
Oops, we made a podcast.
But I think that's it.
All right, you want to take us home? Or?
Take us home.
You've been listening to the Oswego Comic Shop Makes a Podcast. I am Aaron Zeeley, a.k.a. Pens and Pedals.
I'm Lucas Brewer.
I am Evan Coy. And that's it. That's
That's
all we
it.
got.
That's a
We
wrap.
will see you next week.
Take
At
care.
The Comic Shop.
The Comic
Peace.
Shop. One